The Monsterverse continues to deliver with another installment in the Godzilla and Kong series. This time they face the diabolic Scar King and his imprisoned pet Shimu. How will our heroes get out of this one?
No.
Oh, just like that. Okay, cool. Regardless that they kill the king quickly, this movie was still epic, and it might even be the best one in the series. There obviously has been some questionable moments across the Monsterverse, but if we continue to see multiple titans go at it in epic fashion, then we'll be fine. The future of the Monsterverse can be taken into many directions. Although there hasn't been another movie announced just yet, I'm sure another one is on its way due to the positive reception the new Empire has gotten. Warning, before we continue, this video will contain spoilers for Godzilla and Kong the New Empire. If you haven't seen it yet, please go watch it, it's a fun watch. Alright, with that out the way, let's get into it. Director Adam Wingard has stated that him and the studio are waiting to see how the new Empire performs at the box office before announcing another movie. This movie has been putting up numbers at the box office, and people online have expressed how much they enjoyed the film. Along with the memes and memorable moments of the movie, it seems a lot of people loved it. Obviously this movie wasn't perfect, it definitely has its questionable moments, but let's be realistic. We're going into this movie only wanting massive titans going at it. We could give two shits about the human characters. So if you're sitting there overanalyzing a film about a giant gorilla and a giant lizard trying to pick apart the cinematic flaws, then you must really be fun at parties. But anyway, what can the next movie be about? For the most part, people want Destroya to be the next villain. As much as I would love to see Destroya in the Monsterverse, his appearance would signify the endgame, so they'll probably save his debut for one of the final movies. Adam Wingard has said that one of his favorite Godzilla movies is Godzilla vs. Destroya due to the emotional highs the film brought him, notably the ending, when Godzilla Jr. and Godzilla die. Adam goes on to say that if he were to do another film, he would want to hit that emotional renaissance with Godzilla. So another film in the series would make Godzilla the main focus. So for the next movie, we need a villain that's stronger than Scar King, but not as strong as Destroya. We're going to need a villain that's going to make an impact on this universe. The next film could include the Zillions, who are an extraterrestrial race who first appeared in the 1965 film Invasion of Astro Monster. In the Monsterverse, we could see the Zillions having been watching Earth for a long time and studying the titans that roam the planet. Their purpose is to invade Earth and conquer the planet, but they know Godzilla is a formidable opponent, so they brought their own titans from other planets. These titans are revealed to be Gigan to combat Godzilla and Bathra in order to combat Mothra. In this movie, Kong won't be around to help. He has his playful and Hollow Earth training his new ape army and trying to establish a civilization. The people of Earth know they can't always depend on these titans to fight their fights. So after the events of Scar King, Trapper began working on a major project. This is known as Project Jet Jaguar. For those of you unfamiliar with Jet Jaguar, he first appeared in the 1973 film Godzilla vs. Megalon. He fought alongside Godzilla when they fought Megalon. Humanity tried replacing Godzilla with Mechagodzilla, and we clearly saw how that turned out. This time around, Jet Jaguar will be controlled by Trapper, and will fight alongside the Titans when either one of them are not around. In order for the Zillions to be an impactful villain, they could establish them early on in the film. For example, the film could open up with them invading Earth, but only targeting the other Titans on the planet not named Godzilla or Kong. We could see them deploying Gigan in order to kill Muto and Behemoth. And we could see them deploying Bathra in order to kill Rodan. This would not only send a message to the people of Earth and Godzilla, but would set the tone early in this film. After the Titans are killed, the Zillions call back Gigan and Bathra in order to see Earth's next move. The humans start to get their defenses ready as best they can, but they know their best defense is Godzilla. The Zillions would be an arrogant villain and would want to toy with Godzilla before sending in Gigan, so they send in another alien life form, known as Hedorah. Hedorah, also known as a smog monster, first appeared in the 1971 film Godzilla vs. Hedorah. He is a sludge-like monster that uses corrosive acid as his power. Before we get to the main fight, we could see Godzilla and Jet Jaguar put their powers to the test as they take on the smog monster. They defeat him pretty easy and start to gain confidence in their combat. But the main fight of this film would be towards the final act, when the Zillions send down Gigan and Bathra to take on Godzilla, Mothra, and Jet Jaguar. If they were to do something like this, I just hope the fight would last a good amount of time. I felt that the fight with Scar King was a little too short. They built him up to be a massive villain, and he got bodied pretty easily. This movie could be a way to set up an even bigger villain that people have been wanting to see. At the end of the movie, we could see the Zillions extracting a piece of DNA from Godzilla, who's injured and desperately needs some rest. They take his DNA in order to replicate him, and thus teasing Space Godzilla for a future movie. That would be the movie we see Kong and Shimu along with the new ape army joining the fight. I could see a movie like that being made on the scale similar to Final Wars, in terms of the amount of Titans making appearances. I really hope the Monsterverse takes major chances in the next movie, but this universe doesn't have to stop at one movie every 3 years or so. Which brings me to my next topic. There's so much lore in this universe that we should be getting at least 2 spin-offs a year, leading into the next movie. Sure, we had Monarch Legacy, but that show hasn't crossed over into the movies. But what other shows can we see in this universe? I would love to see some sort of anthology series regarding different Titans. We could go back to ancient times and see how early civilizations lived side by side with the roaming Titans. We could see how their relationship took a turn, and we could even see the ancient war between Titanus Kong and Titanus Gojira. Each episode would take place in different periods across time, each focusing on a different Titan. Imagine a Shimu backstory, or even a backstory for Behemoth. There's so much lore that the comics really don't do it justice, and not everyone reads them. I would love to see the different impacts certain Titans had on the Earth. Another show idea I had was a non-canon anime revolving around Titans fighting each other just to see who's stronger. This would be a great way to give the spotlight to maybe some lesser known monsters, like Angrius, or even someone like Megalon. The anime style animation would make for great action that sometimes a live action movie can't do. Each episode would focus on 2 different kaijus going at it, maybe sometimes 3. We could even see something like Scar King versus King Caesar. It doesn't make any sense, but we would watch it anyway. Like I said, this show would be non-canon to the Monsterverse. It would only be for our enjoyment, watching these monsters go at it, trying to debate who's stronger. As for Kong, at this point I don't think we would ever get another solo movie. But that's not to say we wouldn't get another movie making Kong the main focus, like The New Empire. Scar King was a great villain, regardless on how you felt how quickly he was handled. Moving forward, the Monsterverse can continue to create original Titans to give Kong a storyline and occasionally helping Godzilla with his problems. So far, I like the balance these films have showed us. These next predictions are some that might be too outlandish for the Monsterverse, but you never know. Anything can happen. The first one is, I would like to see Gamera make an appearance and go at it with Godzilla. For those of you that don't know Gamera, he was created by the Kadokawa Corporation in 1965 to rival the popular Godzilla movies made by Toho. It would take a lot for Legendary to get the rights for Gamera, but I know a lot of people for years have been itching to see who's stronger between Gamera and Godzilla. This next one is a collaboration that can realistically happen, but I don't know how it would translate on the big screen. It would be a crossover between Pacific Rim and Godzilla. Legendary has the rights to both, but as how it could be done in a way that makes sense would be interesting. I personally am not a fan of the Pacific Rim series, but I know people online fantasize about these two one day crossing over, so we'll see. Regardless on how you feel about the current state of the Monsterverse, the future looks promising. There's multiple angles they can approach this universe moving forward. For me, as long as we continue to get massive fight sequences between Titans, then we'll be good. The New Empire has gotten positive reviews from fans, so we'll definitely be getting a follow-up eventually. What do you guys want to see in the Monsterverse? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.